Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Four Pines weekly live show. I'm your host, Ed Furland. The Brent man is out on vacation this week, so you'll. I'm just gonna quickly go through shop news, and I'll draw you guys a picture as well. Um, we don't have any shop news, nothing new this week. I think I don't know if there's any classes on the website, but you can buy fabric on the website, and you can also check out if there is classes on the website. But I'm just gonna get right into this picture. I do have to erase Heathcliff. He's one of my favorite orange cartoon cats. I don't know what to draw, but we'll figure that out. Four Pines Quilting, I'm thinking we could draw a pine tree. And, pine trees are pretty spiky, so you gotta get the spikes in there. You have to get the eyes are just right, because a lot of people when they're drawing pine trees don't actually put the eyes on, and it really throws a lot of people off when they're looking at pictures. As a pine tree specialist, I can assure you that pine trees do have eyes. You just gotta look for them. It's they're also green, believe it or not. So we're gonna add a little bit of green on there to really spice up the tree. This is the start of the tree. You got the you got the sides of trees. Very important stuff. And you want to make sure that there's layers, because trees do have layers of pineage. If you don't get the right amount of pineage on your first try, you can always erase and add more. That's the beauty of a dry erase board, a whiteboard, because you can always erase things. That's a that's one thing I learned in high school, is that you can erase the board. Now we're gonna just get these side delts put on the tree. It's very important because pine trees lift a lot of weight, so they gotta have big side delts, and then you gotta add the tricep right there, which comes off like that. You gotta get that nice horseshoe shape, and then you finish that all off with a bicep, and more importantly, the bicep vein, because he's a vascular man, vascular pine tree. They're vascular because that's where they keep all the sap. You got to get the lats right here, because he's a tree. He's got to have It's important to have a nice Dorito physique. A lot of people think that trees are more like this shape, like a triangle, but a good pine tree is gonna look like that, I think. So we're working on that. So we got the top, the upper part of the arm, the lats, the pine, the main part of the pine. I think we got to go down a little bit because we're still getting there. I think, and then you have more pineage here, and you got to add in the a nice set of abs. Make sure they're piney abs. You can't have a. They're not as round as a human's abs because he's a pine tree. They're more spiky like a pine tree. And then you gotta also add these things that go there. I don't know what these are called, but they go there. And then you're going to add the bottom of the arms, the forearms, which are important because he holds things, because he's a pine tree. Now there's yeah, so we were getting there in terms of the pineage. I don't know how interesting this is, or if you're learning a lot about pine trees. Let me see if I can angle this better. But we're getting there. Now, a lot of people wonder why this place is called Four Pines Quilting, and it's because one of these guys. There was four of these guys one time. Four big old pine trees, just like this. They walked in, and they just started sewing. And from there, we just had to start a business. So, a very important part of a tree is the trunk. So we're gonna give them some big old quads. Very chiseled because he's like a tree. And can't really see that. Let me back it up a little bit. And he also has the roots. The roots are very important because it keeps the tree in place. I remember learning as a kid that the roots are just as big as the tree itself, and I thought that was pretty cool. Hello, Terry. I'm hoping you're enjoying the tree. Well, we got the roots. It's got some quads. What it needs hands, which I guess are branches, so they're gonna look more branch-like. So they're not like normal people hands, which makes his physique far more impressive. I feel because he doesn't have normal hands to pick stuff up with, so he has to use these cool stick hands, which I feel like would be harder to hold things. So I'm very much impressed that this guy can get this jacked, and I think that's maybe why they look like that, because they're just pine trees. I don't know what else goes on a pine tree. Maybe pine cones. So we'll have him holding. You're right. I got a really good idea. He's actually he's got a barbell because he's a big old tree. And this is their secret. This is where they keep the pine cones. I don't know exactly what a pine cone looks like off the top of my head, but I think it looks something like that. You can feel free to correct me, but I think it's sort of like that. And I think they have little stems. But yeah, there's your pine tree. So make sure to come on into 4 Pines Quilting so you can look like this guy. Or maybe you don't want to look like this guy. Maybe you just want to make a quilt. That's also a good reason to come into 4 Pines Quilting. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you were watching, but I didn't have much planned, and Brent's more on it, and more does this. He's got a lot more practice, but he actually taught me how to draw a tree like this. Um, that's actually why he hired me to work here. He said if I couldn't draw a pine tree, he would fire me. So I've been practicing for a while just to make sure that I can keep this job because I do enjoy working here and I do enjoy drawing myself a pine tree now and again. Um, Either way, that's been the 4 Pines show. Thank you for watching. We have fabric in the store and online. You can come into the store or order the fabric online. I think there's a link in the description if you would like to buy fabric from us. Anyways, so on and be